Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Gordon Masson, alongside my co-host Matt Jericho We're here for Wrestle Talk Episode 10, where when we started this episode, the camera didn't know whose face to pop onto. If the camera actually was a cameraman, I'd fire it because I'm the star of this channel. No, I'm only kidding. That's not the thing. Matt, what's going on, dude?
Nothing much. Getting ready for Battleground. Seems to be a good show. Somewhat. I think. Wait, all right. There's parts. We'll get into the parts that are sleepers.
You want to tell everybody what we're doing today?
So we already did go over what's going on in the week, but mainly we are doing our preview predictions. We have not done one of these in 5 weeks.
It's been a while.
Yeah, real long time. So yeah, I'm really excited. I've been wanting to do this pretty much the last few weeks because we were used to doing it like every 2 weeks. So we got to do that, and yeah, this is probably one of our biggest episodes yet.
Yeah, it is, and I'm just sitting here looking at the card. But you want to tell everybody the big things that we seen and found out this week?
Hmm?
You want to tell everybody the big things that we seen and found out this week?
On Raw, or what do you mean?
Within Raw and the big news of the week.
There's a lot. I don't even know where to start. So obviously the biggest thing this week that happened in ring, I think, was of course the NXT divas coming out, or women coming out, whatever you want to call them. Shoot, what else? Undertaker, Sting, all this rumors going on with them come back at SummerSlam. I feel like I'm missing a bunch already.
Trust me, just let me get this card. You know what? Here's what we're going to do here.
I have the card right here, actually.
Okay, you can take care of this because I obviously don't want to. Alright, so, you know what? Let's just actually knock the predictions out of the way first, because then we can talk about everything else.
You sure you want to do that?
Yeah, let's just knock the predictions out first.
All right. Let me pull it up. Hold on, it's going. Come on, go. It's going, hold up. All right, so...
Oh, by the way, before we even get to this podcast is brought to you by Sherry's Berries. No, I'm not Stone Cold. Or I can say this is brought to you by DDP Yoga. As I'm stretching right now, I'm thinking of DDP while I'm doing some DDP Yoga.
Oh, geez. All right, Jericho, relax.
All right, let me stop there. Okay, so...
Only 6 matches? Is that correct?
If you want to take the IC Championship out, then 5.
Yeah, that was the 7th match. It's out.
All right, then we can go on from here then.
I heard there was a Stardust match though on the pre-show.
Stardust and Neville. Oh wait, there are going to be 2 pre-show matches in because it's Stardust and Neville and R-Truth and King Barrett. Let's just call Barrett to keep his crown before not even Barrett keeps his crown.
I think that, but WWE likes to throw those curveballs at you with. So I want Wade Barrett to win. Yeah, this King of the Ring has meant absolutely nothing, which is pretty sad.
And I said that about 2 months ago on Wrestle Talk. I'm like, they've treated him like absolute trash, but they put King of the Ring on him. They've practically devalued King of the Ring at this point.
Absolutely. What was it, last King of the Ring?
Booker, and he had it for like 2 years.
Who?
Booker, and he had it for like 2 years. Actually, no, it wasn't Booker. It was Sheamus. And that worked out so well.
I remember William Regal did it, but...
Regal was in 08. Actually, yeah, he was in 08.
They didn't do a whole lot, but he was still booked good. Actually, he got a match with Randy Orton. He almost won it. Yeah, they made a... And he had... I don't know, he was actually pretty relevant, I guess, that year. I think he was... He actually held the IC title. No, that was around 2009. But so you see there, and actually he was in a lot of tag team matches. I think he had him with like Beth Phoenix or something. I'm pretty sure. No, that's Santino. But I'm sure Regal had a tag team to go. Oh, with Layla, whatever, around that time. So you can tell that he was booked solidly. Now, Barrett, it's absolutely there. It seems like they just threw that together just for fun, just to make it look like he was doing something. And now, I'm not a fan of this feud at all. I know Gordon got a couple laughs out of it at first. I've never really cared for it, but I kind of think...
I did, I don't remember. It's like whatever I had fun with completely left my mind.
So I guess Barrett's gonna win, but I wouldn't be shocked if R-Truth does.
Oh my God, it's truth. I didn't want to entertain that thought. Let's move on.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
get
not
to
turn rant.
Stardust and Neville. Neville wins.
I say Stardust wins. I don't want him to. Believe me, I hate Stardust. But they're gonna. It seems like they're gonna want to do this whole unless I don't think they'd have him lose or like on the pre-show because I guess they want to bring Cody back apparently, which I don't know what. I'm not a fan of either of them. Just saying, but I think they're
I'd
gonna.
rather Cody over Stardust. No matter what, I'd rather Cody over Stardust.
Yeah, but Cody, they're gonna. If it was Cody, they'd book him more seriously. So Stardust was just booked for tag matches. But I don't know. This one's tough because Neville's on a roll pretty much. I mean, he hasn't lost clean yet really, and he's done a lot. Like he's been booked actually pretty strong when you really think about it. No one's really acknowledging it, but it's happened. But if I think Vince notices that, so he's gonna give Stardust this one. I mean, his dad just died, so or they could just have him lose and then go back to pretty much Cody Rhodes.
I don't really see the Cody Rhodes character coming back, especially after what Eden and Cody have been saying themselves about this personally. I just can't see Cody Rhodes coming back.
Well, I think last week um, on some show they had him standing like next to his old boots or something like that. So in the rumors, it's everywhere that Cody's gonna come back. I I rather see Actually, I'd rather not see either, but I'd rather them keep Stardust because if Cody comes back, they're probably gonna give him like the IC title or something like that, and I'm not into that.
I'd rather have
Sorry,
Cody Rhodes as IC champ over Ryback. I say that for sure.
hell no.
That's a whole conversation I'm not even willing to dive into, dude.
Ryback's what's up? And he's
Ryback is
injured.
what's injured.
Oh, all right. So yeah, right back. There's no IC title matches you guys can see. I wouldn't be shocked if they just threw the Miz together and like with the Big Show, or just a little match like nobody knew about. Like everyone's like, okay, I didn't expect that to happen. They might just throw one of those in. I think there's no women's match or divas match, whatever you call it, and they're probably gonna have a segment. I was saying to build up for SummerSlam.
So we had heard rumors about SummerSlam versus not SummerSlam, main roster versus NXT for a while. Now, see, in each of these groups, minus the Bellas, there is an NXT person or multiple NXT people in each group.
Yeah.
And see, if you want to technically be that smart person about it, you can think about it as Paige is, she's the crowning NXT queen because she was the first ever NXT Women's Champion. And actually, if anybody ever knows, she never lost that championship.
Really?
She was forced to relinquish it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no one could touch Paige. Okay. But we have
Next
Becky.
match.
Oh,
Oh,
wait.
what?
No, go ahead. I'll save that actually for wrapping into the week that was because that is probably going to get me on a tangent.
Yeah, because we'll talk about that more when we talk about Raw. But I say I can see a segment come out of this. Probably end up being like 8 minutes to 15 minutes about just building it up. That's what, since there's no match, might as well. Because that'd be I mean, if they don't, and there's one match that's not even on the show, it's gonna. I don't know what they do to fill in the time, so I think that would work. We got the tag team match, Primetime Players versus the New Day. And actually says Big E and Kofi are Big E's for sure in there, but they don't know if Kofi or Xavier Woods will be in there. It's saying or, so
Big E's never out of the matches, which is what I've come to notice. He's never gone from these matches at all. It's like they're going to play with the freebird rule, and they're going to find some way to win that way. So they can get the titles back. And then from the rumor I'm hearing, not even it's a rumor, but like it's made sense. It's not even a rumor at all. It's something that actually Ashton from Twitwell made reference to. Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy a couple weeks ago, they lost to the Vaudevillains on NXT for the number one contendership for the tag team championships. Where do they go from here? This is like one of those situations where they didn't win the championships. They've gone as far as they can go with NXT, and they've done everything they possibly could. What if they were called up to the main roster?
Oh, I would love that because I like that. I really like them as a tag team, but
Enzo and Cass versus the promos, man.
yeah, but they tag teams are. I mean, I know you don't care, but I really was into the Ascension, and they're gone. It's like I don't
I
tag
don't
teams.
know
I
how you were into the Ascension.
because it's cool. It's not like Stardust and Goldust, which is just
Okay,
weird.
hold on. I was never into that. All right, I know I'm in some pretty weird stuff,
They're
but I
not
was,
boring.
huh?
They're not as boring as the Usos.
The Usos are a whole different story, on a whole different time frame, and a whole different universe that's nowhere near this universe. Thank goodness.
I say the last cool tag team was pretty much the Wyatts. When you think about it, that I actually like, and I like the Ascension, but
The best tag team WWE had going was, like, as of recent, the best tag team they had going was Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. They were like in sync in every facet of their tag team, from gear to in ring, and they were even in sync on a microphone together.
but going back to Enzo and Cass, they just get lost in the shuffle probably.
You mean what the Lucha Dragons are?
Oh yeah, them too. Where are they? I mean, everybody from NXT. What
Well,
tag team
actually, the
from
Lucha Dragons, if no one's really noticed, but on a consistent basis, they've continued to stay on Raw and SmackDown every week.
Yeah, but they're not doing anything. They're not booked. They're just there to take up space.
You've got, I kind of want to say you have a legitimate point, but yeah, you actually do there.
I like them. They're actually another tag team that I do like on the main roster to think about it.
Dude, I love
But
the Dragons. I really
yeah,
do.
it seems just the NXT teams mainly that come up. They just get thrown away pretty much. To think about it, yeah.
Yes, but the goal, no matter what, even if you do want to stay in NXT, the goal if you come into NXT is for you to strive further and make it to the main roster. If you just want to stay in NXT purgatory for the rest of your career, that's gonna get you nowhere. Your act's gonna run cold with that crowd, and they're just not gonna care anymore.
Yeah.
So whether you like it or don't like it at all, man, I just gotta say that the main goal at hand is for them to get to Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah. Well, the Ascension did. I know you don't like them, but I was excited, but they're gone now, so that's good for Gordon here.
It's not that I didn't like the gimmick of the Ascension. It's just I did not like the two guys who were made to represent that gimmick. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I get that. I kind of get that when I think about it.
you see in Lucha Underground, the Disciples of Death. Like, they have kind of like an Ascension type feel to them. What the original Ascension was not like the main roster Ascension. Like, it's like okay, this is what I can compare the Ascension to, from main roster to NXT. NXT, it's like an artist given a paintbrush and they can paint out their own canvas. Main roster Lucha Dragon, I said Lucha Dragons. Main roster Ascension was someone guiding their hand and taking them along the strokes of what they have to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel
So,
that they're better what they did when they weren't guided. I mean,
yeah.
the gimmick itself, I dig it. I just don't dig Connor and Victor.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I like the gimmick mainly. I like the whole "Welcome to the Wasteland" line. I really like that. Yeah, I get that. I understand that. I mean, I'm fine with them, but I get that somebody else might be able to do it better. I personally think it's fine, but that's whatever. So, who do you think will win this match? The primetime players of the New Day.
Well, for Ashton's sake and mine, I'm going New Day.
Oh,
And just
yeah.
from a standpoint of who I like better, I'm going New Day. And
Yeah,
I
same
just
here.
can't see any way of them losing this 3-on-2 because let's remember how the primetime players won the tag team championships in the first place. It was even up because Xavier and Big E defended the championships, and Kofi wasn't out there because he had competed in Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Kofi's going to be back out there this time.
yeah.
Whoever's in the match, they're going to have that third guy out there. So I just don't see any way that the New Day will end up losing.
Yeah, well, I mean, unless they're really trying to build up the primetime players and they're going to make it seem like they have a disadvantage and then they end up winning, like sometimes. That I can see that kind of happening, but the titles get flipped back and forth all the time, so I kind of do see the New Day winning, but I'm going to say I might regret that, but I kind of see that.
With the primetime players going over,
Yeah.
I can't see it happening. It's just one of those things where like,
Tough for me.
huh?
It's too tough for me to say.
Well, I'm gonna go New Day
New Day.
because New Day rocks. All right,
Next we have Randy Orton versus Sheamus.
this is my reaction.
Uh,
Oh, exactly. Two great competitors who work well when they're not facing each other.
yeah, it's weird.
I don't see any reason that Orton has to win this at all. I really, really, really don't. Like this feud just randomly started on a Raw, and there's no reason that they don't like each other. I mean, Orton practically caused Sheamus to win, and Sheamus caused Orton to win. That was it.
Um, well, Sheamus, how has he been booked? I don't even remember. That's Money in the Bank. Has he been booked good? Not really.
Sheamus has
Nope.
lost a couple of matches, but he's won almost everything really.
One. All right, so he's probably gonna go over. Yeah, they're high on Sheamus. He's probably gonna win. I wouldn't be shocked if they let Orton wins because there are those times when it's not Orton wins, LOL, but it's like it's not like Cena wins kind of, but
No,
there's
because
those.
Orton actually lets put guys over, and he actually does
He
advance
does,
superstars' careers.
but Sheamus he's already pretty much you can say established. Maybe not as much as others, but I mean he's done a lot since he's been here. So
I mean, here's my thing too. There's nothing really on the line for this match, so this is practically a grudge match. They can go either way if they really wanted to. I mean, at the end of the day, Sheamus is still Money in the Bank, and at the end of the day, Randy Orton just wins another match in his career. There's nothing much to it. I mean, it's not like anybody's really been paying attention to this feud, especially the one week Randy Orton had off to, go into his second marriage. I don't see another way that Orton could end up. I, I don't know, dude. This feud just got slowed down. Orton went off to get married for another week. Like this, that really slowed it down, and I just wasn't really digging this feud from the start.
yeah, neither was I. I don't even know who to predict because I don't. It's one of those matches that it can go either way pretty much.
I'm gonna call
Yeah.
Orton to win it. I mean, Sheamus has Money in the Bank. Orton hasn't won in
Yeah.
a while. They're gonna give Orton the win. I'm going Orton.
Yeah, I agree. Orton to win. So yeah, nothing much on that. We got three big matches. These ones I care about. All right, let's see. Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt.
Oh yeah, that is a thing. Holy crap.
Yeah, I want to see this match though.
Well, okay, from the developments that we heard, and we'll get to those in the main event, I guess I'll just have to go Roman. Let's just straight up win this.
To win this match,
Yeah.
I think they're going to
And I would
continue.
love to go with Wyatt.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, actually, no, you're right. Like, I just remembered. Yeah, they're going to go Wyatt in this match, and if they have a second match at SummerSlam, which is entirely possible, they're going to go Roman.
Kind of like Orton and Cena. There are those times that Reigns will win. It's not as bad. I'm not trying to hate on the guy. People try to understand, but there are those times that he will. He has that. Vince likes him, so there's a chance that he will just win. Guys like Sheamus too, that they'll just win the match when they don't really need it. But I have a feeling Bray Wyatt will win this. He'll lose next month, but I say Wyatt to win this one.
I see. We don't know. Actually, you know what? Here's how I'm going to treat this because we don't know if there's going to be a follow-up match. So because we don't know, I'm going to treat this as going to just be a one-off.
Wyatt will win.
Even though it doesn't look like a one-off pay-per-view. I mean, it doesn't look like a one-off, but you never know. Roman could be doing something different next month. But I honestly don't. I want to treat this like a one-off and just say LOL Roman wins.
I guess.
But
I say Wyatt.
see, dude, this is where I'm like extremely conflicted. I can't choose because like the story has it had enough depth. I mean, has it had enough depth to make it go more than one? I mean, what's the story now? Like, what is the story? The original story they started with Bray Wyatt was messing around and saying that just messing around with Roman Reigns and his daughter, and then they just cut that at the ankles and it's just they're fighting because they're fighting. Like
Yeah.
Okay, so like the whole daughter thing made it seem like it would be more than a one-off, and now they're just fighting because of what?
Yeah.
I mean, it
I
seems like
saw,
most of Bray Wyatt's feuds lately, like not even just most, the Ryback one in general, the last time he started off saying Ryback was so dedicated and all that crap, and it seemed like the kind of depth that Wyatt was putting in his promo made it seem like it'd be more than a one-off, but it was just a one-off, and we kind of all knew it'd be a one-off, but the way Wyatt was talking made it seem like it wouldn't be. And then Ryback went to win the Intercontinental Championship, and Wyatt did nothing. And this one, it was they're talking about his daughter. Now they're not talking about his daughter, and they're just gonna fight, and that just might be it. So if I'm treating this as a one-off, Roman wins.
I say Wyatt, but there's a chance Reigns still does.
I'm.
Go
Don't get me
ahead.
wrong, people. I want Wyatt to win. I really
Yeah.
do. It's just I just can't see it. I mean, they've booked Wyatt like a piece of crap for the past. I don't know how long. The last one he got major pay-per-view wise was Ryback, and that meant nothing, obviously. So
Yeah. So next we have Cena versus Owens. For the longest time, I said Owens will win this match, but now I'm thinking either two things. Either Cena will just win because Owens gonna go fight Balor one more time, so I don't, and lose probably. So I don't think Vince would want his
yeah,
United.
but you got to remember though, Owens and Balor is the day before SummerSlam.
Yeah, but he's not gonna. If Owens is gonna be going to SummerSlam as United States champ, he's not gonna be wanting Owens to go into the match with the U.S. title just to lose. That's Vince's title. He doesn't want to lose to the NXT because Vince.
Well, yeah, here's the thing now. Kevin Owens is a main roster mainstay, so that's not NXT anymore. He's only booked on NXT so he can finish out his run there and lose to Finn.
Yeah, but still, and then the next day he can win the U.S. title. That's probably what's gonna happen. I can see Cesaro interfering um, or just Cena winning. I do really don't. A while ago I said I see no one's winning, but I would love him to, but I don't see it happening.
You know what? I'm gonna say this because the NXT tapings happened yesterday. I'm gonna say that this match ends in disqualification.
Yeah, I say Cesaro interferes.
But I see no point for Cesaro to interfere because that'd make him seem like a heel for attacking Kevin Owens when John Cena is about to win. So that's where I see it because Dolph Ziggler is on, indefinite leave at the moment. That Rusev interferes from the standpoint of he feels that he still has unfinished business with Cena and he does not like Kevin Owens.
There's nothing really that bad if I mean, look who it is. He's gonna attack Owens, or he's gonna come out somehow and something will happen.
Yeah, but is there really a reason for him to attack Owens?
Well, they're battling. They
I mean,
each.
they're like, okay, I understand. Owens is a heel. Cesaro is a babyface. Yes, but here's the thing. Why would Cesaro, a guy who's all about fighting and guys getting their fair chances and guys, going out there to just win, why would he interrupt the match where John Cena could win?
Because Vince wants the three-way at SummerSlam is what
Yes, but they also do have to book Logic.
when do they do that? I mean, look at I'll go to the main event next and I'll say Logic into something. We'll get to that, but I don't see Owens winning. I hate to say it. I wish. I think the match will be pretty good, not as good as the other two, but sloppy finish for sure.
I don't want a sloppy finish. I'm like if I had to call a definite winner, I call Owens to win it. But
No way.
I just I only see Owens winning at SummerSlam.
That's what I see. Owens winning at
I see a
SummerSlam.
fatal four-way at SummerSlam, and I see Owens winning it.
Yeah.
Now, see, that's different from you because you said you've seen a triple threat.
I guess, well, if Ziggler doesn't resign, then Fatal 4-Way, which would just be better.
It would after we seen what the triple threat was Monday.
Yeah. I'd want it to be elimination triple threat or fatal 4-way, but they're not going to do that because Cena. So, yeah, I see Cena winning somehow. Oh.
I don't because okay, so Owens lost, but that makes it that much harder for him. If he loses to Cena straight up, how does he get into the title shot? And where does Kevin Owens go from here? We know he barely survived that Money in the Bank loss because of what he did to Cena after the match and when he did the Machine Gun Kelly the next night.
Well,
How does Owens fend off another loss to Cena? I mean, he's just everybody else if he loses again.
It doesn't always turn out the way you want it. Look at Wyatt. He lost to Cena and things didn't go his way. It happens to a lot of guys. I don't think Cena will bury him, but I don't know. I think they don't really care. They'll book him strong after, so people will forget the loss, but that's
Yeah.
not going to happen.
Okay. Give me this though. The objective of the United States Championship, and if you've gone out of their way to put this over on commentary, is the United States Championship is something relevant again. The United States Championship is something that people look at again as, wow, this is major. This is a big deal.
Because of Cena.
Yes, and if they're trying to give it to that guy who they feel can carry it on as that big deal, then if not Owens, then who? Because everybody else on the roster is practically looked at as nothing major unless you're Cena status. And if he beats Cena, then there you go. I mean, Cesaro, been there, done that. Rusev, been there, done that. Cena's champ now. Owens, no.
I I guess in a DQ. There's no way. I guess Cena can't win either. Then just a DQ finish somehow.
Because if he straight up just makes Kevin Owens lose to him, who's that next guy they give that championship to? I mean, if you can find me somebody on that main roster right now, then please let me know, because I obviously can't figure out. And Cesaro, not to be that guy and say, but he deserves better than the U.S. Championship at this point because everything he's been doing lately, and we know that Cesaro's capable of this, but it's just, yeah.
That's true, but no, he's too new to just go after the world title. That's a bit. You don't want to jump him
He's
in
not too new. He's been around for 3 years.
in WWE.
Yeah,
Who?
Cesaro.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Owen.
Oh no, not Owens. I'm talking about Cesaro.
Cesaro last year might have been built up close to that, but this year no. He just got off a tag team. Just because he's fighting for the U.S. title now, it doesn't mean he can just go toward WWE. That'd be a push. Now,
Well,
if
see, there was a rumor before Tyson Kidd got injured that they wanted to make two. They wanted to split Cesaro and Kidd up for the better good, and put them in the singles pushes for Tyson Kidd to get a mid card IC championship type push, and Cesaro to get a world championship push.
well, maybe eventually, like
Yeah, and
next
the
year.
working came onto that now, and I don't see why you'd stall that and give him a mid card championship
What I would
when
say
he's
is,
already held, and that'd just be backtracking. That'd be starting over practically.
yeah, I say that Owens should win the title, but Cesaro should be the guy to eventually beat him. Not too soon. You can't have it flip back and forth because that just devalues it. Give Owens a long reign and have Cesaro beat him. That's who I think would be cool to do that.
Yeah, but if you're giving Owens a long reign and then having Cesaro beat him, wouldn't that be backtracking on where Cesaro's supposed to be in the long-term future?
No, you can have him do a couple other things. You can have him feud with like guys like Wyatt and stuff like that.
But
You
where
can.
does that put Bray Wyatt? Wyatt's just losing more matches. We want Bray Wyatt to be a successful superstar.
It's too late for that. Wyatt's not that guy. They're turning him into like Foley, where he puts guys over and he looks good doing it, or not looks good, but he makes the other guys look good. Imagine if Finn Balor were to come in first match and beat Wyatt, then people be talking about, oh wow, because people, even though Wyatt's lower, they still look at him like, oh, he's still kind of a big deal at least.
See, that's the guy that I actually see as like that's a guy I can actually see having a lengthy feud with Bray Wyatt, because Bray Wyatt, the new face of fear, he controls all sort of demons and all that crap, and then Finn Balor has the two personalities, the nice, calm wrestler, and then there's the demon Balor, and that's where I can see Bray Wyatt trying to brainwash and poison Balor, and they have that feud. They just draw that out for like 3 months.
And I'm not just saying Cesaro would just feud with them. I'm not saying, oh, that should be a feud. I'm just saying that something like that. You can't just because they're building Cesaro now and have Owens win it and then have Cesaro beat him at like Night of Champions. That's not good for the title.
No, I know it's not good for the title. They have to get the championship on Owens. Let me just put it like this for 1 second here. Cesaro, in honest opinion, should only be around. Like, I don't even think he should be honestly around the U.S. Championship picture much longer. I mean, what they've done the last 3 weeks has been to go with it, like a statement to set him up for people to actually think, wow, this guy's no joke. He's pretty good, especially the 30-minute match he had on Monday.
I say give him the IC title.
Give him the IC.
Yeah.
You know what? Tyson Kidd is gone. They had him plan to win that. But I say, actually, yeah, I'd do that. I mean, because they say Ryback's not supposed to be gone long, so if they wouldn't even go that route and have a Ryback Cesaro match, and then just insert the Miz in there because they never do face versus face. Fine.
Yeah. Or Ryback, he can turn heel. He's been a face for what, over a year now?
Yes, but Ryback is hot, dude. The fans love him. They're not going to turn him like that.
I like Ryback. I like him as IC champ, but it's not really working because how they've put him in a terrible feud. And he's injured now, so yeah, that sucks. But what can you do? All right, so we both see a false finish then.
What, for Cena Owens?
Yeah.
If I have to call a winner, I call Owens. But
Maybe not clean. I don't see it happening clean.
I see it happening.
Clean or just happening?
I would say I call it clean.
Don't give your hopes up, kid. All right. So I don't know. This is tough. I see DQ or I see like Rusev trying to come out. Cesaro attacks him. Cena kind of he's distracted, turns around, pop up powerbomb, 1, 2, 3. That's the only way I see Owens winning. So
I see Cena going for. Here's how I see it happening. I see. Now this is a long shot. This is my long shot for it happening, but just out of nowhere, like you can see the match ending, like it's getting up toward that time where they're like kicking it in the high gear. Say Cena goes for the leg drop. I see the Batista finish happening again.
pop up powerbomb.
Yeah. Cena gets caught in a powerbomb.
Breaks his neck?
Not breaks his neck. Let's not get that lucky. But Owens wins like that. Cena caught him.
All right. So, you ready for the main event?
Oh wait, did we call who we? Oh yeah, we did. Never mind. Yeah, I'm ready for this.
Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, not Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins.
What? Yeah. Rollins wins.
Rollins wins. I can see Heyman turning on Brock because if Brock's gonna be a face, put Heyman with Rollins, he can make it more of that.
This is where the rumor kicks in.
I hope Brock Lesnar kicks his ass and just wins. That's not gonna happen.
This is where the rumor kicks in, my friend.
Yep. Tell it.
Okay, so there's a rumor going around, and people are going to say, oh, this isn't true. Well, let me explain. That Undertaker will be at Battleground this Sunday. And along with that, the source is a guy off of Reddit named Falcon Zero. Now, this guy, that in particular, Falcon Zero, has called a lot. Not a lot, but a few things that have happened, and he's called them on the nights that they've happened before they've happened when no one knew they would happen. Sami Zayn debuting on Raw to answer John Cena's U.S. Open Challenge. He called that exactly. Kevin Owens answering the U.S. Open Challenge. He called that exactly. Bray Wyatt stopping Roman Reigns from winning Money in the Bank. He called that exactly. And now he's calling the Undertaker to show up and screw Brock Lesnar. And I don't know if it was you who mentioned this to me. It might have been Matt, but it make the most sense with, recently Heyman doesn't mention Undertaker anymore. He just mentions, the current feud at hand for Brock Lesnar normally. But he's been mentioning the Undertaker a lot more recently.
Yeah.
Which would bring Undertaker a reason to come out and say, you're not going to, disgrace my name and screw Lesnar.
Never mind my youth call.
That's how they did it. Well, that's how they would do it.
Back to what I was saying at the main event of Logic. Okay, so I think Undertaker should come out and chokeslam both guys because one, Rollins took out Kane last week. And I don't
that makes sense too. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's such a good one.
Are they forgetting that they made Kane and Undertaker brothers? And I commented on a video and some dude said, it's fake, right? It's like, are you kidding me? That's a character. Yes, I know, but Kane's still Undertaker's brother. Storyline-wise, of course, it's been like that forever now. And I don't know. If he just lets Rollins be, then I think that'd be a little lame. I don't really want to see this happen to anything. I'm not saying I want this to happen, but they screwed themselves with that. They put that situation. Like Rollins is just.
They should have just let Ambrose face Kane. They should have just let Ambrose face Kane.
Yeah, if that would have been, yes, the match wouldn't have been the best, but it would have actually made sense. Now, I don't get it. I hear there's things about Sting and Undertaker fighting at SummerSlam, but where's that put Brock then? Because Rollins will probably face Triple H with the title or without it. What about Brock?
What about Brock?
Yeah.
I don't know where this puts him, honestly. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, see, because this is already his rematch against Seth. So I don't know where to put Brock.
Oh, no.
Well, see, Brock won't be champion.
Well, that's the thing. They could still do the Reigns Lesnar, but Lesnar's still gonna be pissed off about. That's why I don't. All right, I think Sting. Well, all right, if Undertaker beats Lesnar, then I don't think Sting will wrestle at SummerSlam. I think at the end of their match, Sting will come out and Undertaker. They have the face-to-face moment. Everyone's going nuts, and that's what's gonna happen. Sting. I don't see him wrestling at SummerSlam.
Now, see, here's another rumor that's going around, too. And this, I don't believe, was from Falcon Zero. This was a rumor that's been going around now for a couple of days. That Undertaker and Sting will both be on Raw on Monday.
If they're in, well,
What?
it's tough. It's tough. All right, Falcon Zero I trust more than anyone out of the rumors, I guess, so. Yeah. Undertaker will cost Lesnar the match. I wonder if it'll end in DQ or like Rollins will pin Lesnar. They're probably just gonna end in a DQ, and then yeah, that's probably gonna happen. Because they want to make it a big deal for somebody beating Lesnar, like Reigns or something. That's who they would want, pretty much. I don't think they want Rollins to do it. They want to keep the title on Rollins, though. I bet. So I don't see Lesnar really, unless Lesnar wins and then Undertaker comes out, but that wouldn't make sense either. It's like, why didn't you just come during the match? You could have, unless Undertaker wants a title.
Now, what if we see or hear something like, I don't know, like the lights go out, and then at the end of the day, Rollins somehow does something, and then we just see Rollins over Lesnar, 1, 2, 3, and then the lights come back on after Rollins when the Undertaker's at the top of the ramp.
I think he should be in the ring and just choke slam both of them.
I mean, well, my logic, this way we never get to see how Lesnar got put down by Rollins. All we know is that Rollins won, and then we put the puzzle pieces together. We see the lights come back on, the Undertaker's at the top of the ramp.
I see more like in the ring, but either way can work.
I mean, however they're going to do this, I would say they can't screw this up, but it's WWE, so let's not go overboard there.
Don't give your hopes up. We're just going to have to wait and see. So, anything else? That's something to talk about the Undertaker, we were kind of saying.
Not really. We can jump through the week that was now.
All right, actually, can I say the thing about the Undertaker real quick?
Oh, yeah, go.
All right, so what did that one guy say to you on Facebook about the Undertaker being nothing more than the streak or something like that?
Oh, no. Who was it? No, it wasn't what he said to me. It was a Pletov commenter on Ashton's spoiler post because he said, what was it? Oh, yeah, Ashton was like, spoilers, the Undertaker, will be returning at at Battleground. And then he's like, man, spoiler. He's like, sorry, dude. He's like, it's all right. But he's like, you know what? I don't think Undertaker should return anymore. He's like, without the streak, his aura is gone.
No way. I disagree with that because this is the Undertaker now. In my opinion, Undertaker has got to be in the top 5, top 10 most underrated wrestlers because all people care about now is a streak. Now,
Underrated?
Underrated, absolutely. Nobody talks about.
I don't think that Undertaker would be underrated.
How? He doesn't give the credit he deserves. He is the most. Name one guy. Name one who's been the most loyal in the business more than Undertaker.
Kane. Big Show.
Big Show, no. Definitely not.
20 years.
Yeah, but he wasn't in WWE. He was in WCW.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there is Kane then.
All right, Kane, yeah. You can throw Kane, but Kane actually came. I think he was a bit after Undertaker.
It was 1997.
No.
1997's Survivor. No, it wasn't Survivor. It was one of the big reviews.
In Your House, he interfered in the Hell in a Cell match with Shawn Michaels Undertaker. But All right, before that, Kane can be thrown in there, but not as much as Undertaker. Well, Kane, yes, he's gone through a lot of stuff in his career. He's been around probably about the same time, so I guess you could throw. But Undertaker has literally, he's done it all. He's been in. When people say, "Oh, you didn't know about this about the Undertaker," if you look back, Undertaker when he first came in the Hogan era, when you had just a bunch of colorful characters running around, and even if though it was good, it's my favorite era, but he was in that. He was this dark character, and people were blown away. And yeah, he was winning matches in the '90s, but nobody, like if you hear old wrestling fans, I wasn't alive, but you can.
Oh, 1 second.
So.
Yeah.
So Undertaker, he came around that time, and the streak wasn't a thing yet. He was still winning titles, and people thought he was a big deal. He had matches with Hogan where he was fighting all the best. He has one of the biggest debuts in wrestling history at Survivor Series, and 1990. And when people, if you look at the crowd, when he came out, people are like just shocked at looking at this guy because they haven't seen anything before. And then even 20 years later, when wrestling mid-90s, it wasn't a big thing to do. He could have went to WCW easily, had the match with Sting then, and gotten a lot more money, but he stayed loyal to WWF when it was in its bad time, and it paid off for him.
That's the thing. Like you said, he could have done it, but he knew what company was in better standing at that point.
Yeah, WCW was. WWE was losing every week for a year, like, I think more than a year. WCW was kicking the crap out of them. It wasn't until, obviously, the Attitude Era, which Undertaker was in, that's when they kind of got it back. And see, that's what happens. He stuck around, and it paid off. Then you look at Ruthless Aggression Era. Yes, his gimmick was bad around that time, but he had some damn good matches. I'll give him that for sure. And around that time, that's when people noticed, that's where you see like the streak signs, like 10-0 and stuff like that about. So he was going on, and he's been here since then. He didn't go to any other promotion out, maybe before in the mid-90s. He did, maybe he said that the wrestlers go in other promotions, but for them, maybe just to show, hey, this is a WWF guy. Like Shawn Michaels and him did that, I think, on a show in the mid-90s, and maybe before he was in WWE. But he stuck with them the whole time. He has been through, Undertaker's in every single era, same dedicated.
All right, then.
And he's great in ring. He's not as good as before, but he's getting older. What do you expect? And yeah, without it, that's like saying the only time Undertaker's had a good match is at WrestleMania. No way. He has had tons of classic matches, not even in WrestleMania. And he'll put people over too. And usually he's done a lot. I can make a 2-hour video talk about the Undertaker. Just everything he's done. He is absolutely one of my favorites and one of the best, for sure. He is much more than a streak.
I understand why you passionately come off of that, man. And I mean, that wasn't even my thing. I was just like showing you what your commenter said. I mean, like his aura's gone now. Like people believe that, and like it feels like nowadays no one really cares about the Undertaker.
There's a lot of people who tuned out just because he lost. But still, I don't care.
That's a huge deal to me. Like, you're gonna tune out of a product that he's not even on every single week, and he's a part of once a year because he lost when he wouldn't even be around the next day. Yes, it's a huge blow to the fans of the guy.
He doesn't have him to just wrestle every single day.
I know. I'm just saying. Like, he is a special attraction, like these most special attraction they had, and people can make that saying that it's Brock Lesnar, but in this situation, it is the Undertaker.
Yeah, the thing about fans, they always kind of complain, he's not on every week. But if he was on every week, then you wouldn't get some of your new guys in. He only comes in because that's what he needs to do.
I know, that's not my point. My point is, dude, that
people that try to hate the Undertaker, it's like you have no respect for legends, and he's a big time legend. He's helped out a lot. He's been through it all.
I know. I'm just like saying. My point would be. Hold on 1 second, dude.
All right. So I'll go back a little bit. Yeah, I think Undertaker is definitely underrated because people don't really think. Yes, he might have not been a draw like an Austin or The Rock, but he has gone through it all pretty much as they have, and more pretty much. Same with Hogan. I mean, Hogan, yeah, he went to WCW, and Hogan is one of those guys. You know, Triple H he started in WCW. Undertaker is one of those guys that he'll do it. He knows it's right, pretty much. And if it wasn't for the Undertaker, Michaels could have possibly went over WrestleMania 14. Everybody knows that story, so you know, Undertaker's been through it all pretty much. He's.
My phone is.
I understand, dude. I mean, I get it at this point.
If you look at The Rock, I mean, real quick, he was only his original time. He was only in there from the mid late '90s until the early 2000s. Undertaker has tripled that. And I love The Rock, but they say he's one of the best of all time. And I agree, but Undertaker, I'd put him up there in maybe top 10, top 20 for sure, because he's literally not sold out at all. He'll do anything you say, and he's gone through it all pretty much, and that's why I think he's just awesome.
All right, then. Well, here's what we're getting ready to dive into next, man. This past week in wrestling. And normally this is my face for Raw.
Yes.
Why? I mean, for a guy who reviews it to have to go back over it, it's normally a drag. But this isn't so bad. Raw was actually, I don't know, good this week. And the things that seemed like they'd just be like giant like lapses of time that were being used for no reason, they were actually very, very short segments. And that was like the Neville Stardust thing, and Neville Stardust. We got Ryback, Orton, Sheamus, and who was the fourth guy in this? Ryback, Orton, Sheamus, and Big Show. That didn't get much time. Like, it served its purpose for what it was. And I can't remember what else was really there. Oh, the Tough Enough thing with Lita. It was just her introducing us to the people in Tough Enough, and that was it. But other than that, everything else was solid for what it was. But the huge thing I want to get to, the NXT women. So Stephanie McMahon has this empowering segment for the women that is just, she's like, there's a huge huge movement in women's sports all around that's going, and she wants to be a part of it, and she wants to, help make a part, have people make a part of it. And then when she's out there with the Bellas, she brings out Paige, and like Nikki Bella literally like, why does Paige get another shot, man? She's already lost him like 3 times. And from there, we get her, like, she came out, and then this was a huge one that surprised me, because I knew Sasha and Charlotte were a package deal as they came up. They were going to be coming up together, because, like, no one could really, like, who do we want, Sasha or Charlotte? We get both, but in between that, we get Becky Lynch, and I am a Becky Lynch fan. That is the thing. And Becky Lynch came out. I marked. Like, I just, oh, that was literally my face when I said, like, oh. And then we got then we got Charlotte. No big surprise to me there. I'm still a fan of it. Then we get Naomi coming out, and this is what surprised me. I'm like, what are you doing out here, Naomi? And then we get the NXT Women's Champion, Sasha Banks, with Naomi and Tamina. So it looks like at SummerSlam we're going to have WWE, full-on WWE, Alicia Fox and the Bellas, versus Becky Lynch and... what do you call it? And Charlotte and Paige versus Sasha Banks, Naomi, and Tamina. Now, they did have a brawl in this match, and if you go back and check out my Raw review, which I advise you to do, I mean, it was a pretty good Raw. I mean, this will probably be one of the reviews where you don't find me sitting here struggling to get through it, even though I do go about 40-some minutes in these. But this will be one of those rare reviews where you don't see that, for Raw at least, because NXT and Lucha Underground, which I also do apologize for at the moment, because none of the streaming sites at the moment would let me see Lucha Underground when I need to see it, to rewatch it, because I had been in the process of watching it, and then I needed to see what else happened, and none of the streaming sites would let me. So anyways, they ended up having a brawling segment, and there was this beautiful scene with all three of them with the respective submission holds and Schoolston armbar, bank statement, and the figure 8 from Charlotte. There was just, and they weren't even all on the same team. They just coincidentally had all their submissions in at the same point in time. I was a fan of it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I liked it. Matt, your thoughts?
Yeah, it was pretty surprising. See, because for weeks we were saying, oh, they're gonna come up, and now they're throwing it. It's gonna be a three. What? How are they gonna do this? Like 3 versus 3 versus 3?
Yeah, trios match practically.
I like how they did that because everyone was predicting it and it happened, but they also threw something in that, and yeah, they looked strong. And now it's kind of is there an NXT person in each? Not one of them, teams, but
Technically, we won't even go there. Paige is from NXT as well. That's where she came from, and she was like the crowned. She was the first ever NXT Women's Champion. So, Paige.
well, she's like the NXT, like the main one, pretty much.
Yeah, and then there's not Sasha Banks. There's Becky Lynch, and there's Charlotte.
Yeah.
And Charlotte, who was the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion.
So it all has something in there, and the Bellas team, that's the only one that doesn't have the NXT. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna lose. It's gonna be tough to predict. Next few weeks will probably be pretty good. You can do a lot with them because there's so many. Like I said, they're gonna probably do something battleground. Probably not fight, maybe just a little bit, but they're probably gonna have the Bellas kind of get a little bit of the advantage.
They're probably gonna set up the match at SummerSlam. For SummerSlam, yeah, that'll be the first match set up for SummerSlam, which is August 23rd. Actually, let me get my calendar out and count from August 20 to August 23rd, because I think we have an entire month.
Just about. Let's see. Yeah, about a month.
All right, I need a week count here. Oh, wow. Darn it. I am sorry. I'm just trying to get a timetable down on how long we exactly have. So, Sunday. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 weeks until SummerSlam, dude.
Dang.
You thought the last preview predictions was a long time coming. This one is going to be a long time coming.
Jeez.
And just another heads up for everybody out there, we do have the day before that NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. And then the day after, for the first time ever on a pay-per-view day, I plan to do 2 reviews in one day. Because early in the day will be Ring of Honor's Field of Honor show, where they have the show on an actual baseball field. And last time I had a steel cage match in Field of Honor, which was actually pretty sweet to see, the imagery of that.
Wait, is that the one with AJ and not AJ, Strong and Lethal or no?
Oh, no, that's actually July 24th. That's probably, I think, next Friday or next Sunday. What is the 24th next week, Matt?
24th, probably Friday.
That'll be next Friday, actually, yeah. So if you're around, Matt, then you can do the Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor review with me.
Yeah, because Strong, I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah, because Matt's not like a huge indie guy. I have gotten him into the independents as of recent. Like, I'm not saying like he's a huge fan now, but
I'm a casual viewer kind of, but there's guys that are really doing it. Like, we talked about Strong's awesome, AJ of course, Shinsuke.
Well, see, Shinsuke is a New Japan product.
Well, still, but I guess it's independent, like considered by some people. Just saying that kind of.
Well, see, I mean, New Japan.
But
New Japan does not count as independent. That actually is a global wrestling company. They are the Japanese WWE. Like, that's the second biggest wrestling company in the world.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that some people think New Japan's like indie, pretty much.
Now, if I can find a way to do this, I will be covering the G1 Climax, which, like, I don't know if Matt's going to jump in for this one because this is a very complicated tournament to cover in the sense of New Japan puts this in together where I can't remember the format exactly. I'm not going to try and copy what Kevin Kelly said on Ring of Honor. You have to have like 9 impressive matches or something like that, and you have to get through. And like the best matches are basically judged off of how you came out of them. Like it's not like a regular tournament where you win or you lose and then you're out. No, the matches are judged on match quality, I guess, and who honestly was the better competitor in that match. And I guess they judge you and go on from there. Like G1 is just something completely different from a United States tournament in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to Raw. I think I covered my point on the women, and we went through that. Next up, major props need to go to Rusev.
Yeah.
I mean, because the triple threat match that him, Cesaro, and Owens before Owens walked out on Monday, that match was absolutely freaking amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty damn good.
I mean, okay, we all. And think about this. Those are two Ring of Honor guys that Rusev just worked with for over 30-some minutes.
Yeah.
And, like, Ring of Honor, it's all about, it's all about who's the best, who's better. Like, Ring of Honor, like, when they sign a guy, they make sure they're signing one of the best conditioned wrestlers on planet Earth. And look at Cesaro, look at Kevin Owens, and tell me and tell me to my face they did not do their job.
They did indeed.
And to see that Rusev went in there with them and, put up his best as well,
Yeah.
that was absolutely awesome, dude.
Yep.
Any thoughts on that match or Raw in general?
From what I've seen, it was good. The three-way was really good, I thought. And I was a little bit confused at first because I didn't know. I was like, wait, isn't Owens fighting Cena at Battleground? I'm sure, I'm like, is that happening? But they actually had the match after, so that was kind of cool. But the only thing is, I knew Cena was winning. But the three-way, separately from that, the match after was pretty good.
Exactly, dude. That's the thing.
During the match, I like to see that continue on, and yeah. So, I guess, yeah, if Ziggler's not going to resign, then do the four-way.
See, that's why I've wanted the four for the longest time. Like, not even the longest time. It's really been the past week, but they set this up perfectly where Rusev has made a statement. And if for anybody who didn't see SmackDown, and I'm pretty sure that's probably all of you, I looked at a clip yesterday. Rusev and Cesaro actually had another really good match yesterday.
Wow.
Like, their match was absolutely awesome. I wasn't home. I was out having fun.
Yeah.
But Rusev and Cesaro had a great match. If you guys really want to go back and watch it, you should. And they made like a big deal out of it. Like, commentary is going out of their way, like to push Cesaro because he is the second guy to pin Rusev.
Yep. Oh.
Like, they're like, other than John Cena, Cesaro was the second man to ever pin Rusev.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that really slipped my mind too. Yeah, Cesaro's the second ever guy to do that.
Wow.
So that's that. So we get Brock Lesnar breaking Kane's leg. So how are we gonna go about that? I mean, your honest opinion, man. Like, how did you feel about the Lesnar segment at the end of Raw?
Actually, can I talk about the beginning one real quick? Just real quick.
Okay.
That was when it was kind of funny. We were kind of like, Lesnar said, "What do you say? I'll take you to Super."
Oh, he's like, no, because Rollins is like, I'll take Suplex City and I'll burn it to the ground. He's like, you know what? I'm taking to Suplex City right now, bitch.
It was funny, and I even think for the most part, there are a couple parts Rollins got, because in my opinion, he's cut either really good promos or like really bad ones sometimes. And this one at the beginning of the show, I thought he did pretty well. I don't like it when he gets loud, kind of, because it's not like he's almost whining in a way, but when he kept his voice like how it is pretty much, he cut a pretty damn good promo in my opinion. And him and him, they all worked well together, and I'm pumped for the match. The main event was even better almost. It looks like Kane's out. I don't know if Kane's going to come limping in and cause the match. That's probably not going to happen, but it looks like Kane's out. But the only thing is, I love Kane, but I don't want to see really him in a match with Rollins or this.
I agree, dude. Oh, and I also have confirmation on G1. Ashton just commented and said it's a round robin tournament, 2 blocks of 10. Everybody faces everybody in their respective block. and the guy with the most wins in each block faces each other in the finals slot. So, wait, a shot at the world title.
Oh, all right.
So, we actually did talk about this last night. You know a good amount of guys that are in New Japan. Well, a couple of guys that are in New Japan.
Yeah.
So, who'd you pick for your winners for this tournament?
Um, I kind of want to go Shinsuke. Yeah. He's
Yeah, I think
actually.
I got Nakamura as well.
I want him to win. Who else is in there? What's his name? Okada, is he in there?
Okada. Yes, Okada is in there.
Is he like one of those? I know. Gordon. He's not too. You're not too big, are you?
Huh?
You're not too big.
No. Here's the thing. I like Okada. I like the Rainmaker gimmick. I feel as if Nakamura is better in ring than Okada.
I think he's not quite. He's better than a lot of people. He's pretty tough to compare to. So I see one of them. I'll be happy with either one. If so, they're gonna have a match together, right? Hello?
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. My mic got out there for a second. Yeah, they're gonna have a match together, and I believe Nakamura. Oh wait, Nakamura Okada. I don't know. I think they may be in separate blocks. But here's the thing. AJ Styles is in this tournament too.
Oh, then I want AJ.
You're straight up fanboying in this, bro.
I want him to win. Him or Nakamura or Okada. Those are my three. AJ for number one.
I would love to see Fale win. I don't think you've ever seen or heard of Fale. He's a Bullet Club member who just looks like a giant freaking beast, dude. I mean, Fale is huge, and he moves extremely fast. Like, if you ever seen that man, I think it was one of the matches I seen where he speared somebody or something like that. It just looked completely vicious.
That sounds pretty great. I guarantee I'll like him.
All right, but what else do we got here? Oh yeah, let's. I was picking for my winner for G1 Nakamura, and I think he has won one G1 tournament too.
Yeah, you were talking like a year or two.
Yeah, I think Nakamura was a G1 winner before. I think I heard that in his resume. I don't know exactly, but I think he was a G1 winner. And if it's worth mentioning at all, Michael Elgin from Ring of Honor is also going to be in the G1 Climax. All right, but anyways, from there, we were going back to Raw. So, I think we basically covered everything from that, unless you had more to say about Lesnar.
No, it was cool. Rollins, and I kind of like how Rollins kind of, he escaped, he came back and all that. That was a little bit different. So, but it makes it, and that, how they ended it, made it pretty unpredictable until the Undertaker thing came out. Pretty unpredictable, I guess, who's going to win, because no man had a bigger advantage, because it looked like Lesnar did, but then Rollins came out, but he didn't do anything to Lesnar, so it would have been a toss if that thing didn't get leaked out, but, so, yeah, I thought I liked the whole Lesnar Rollins thing. That's one of my favorite stuff of the night, for me.
Agreed, dude.
So, it was a good Raw.
Oh, Matt, give me 1 second, all right? Just continue going what you're going about.
Huh? Oh, okay. So yeah, good little Raw there. What else I gotta say? Let's see. All right, so Battlegrounds in 2 days. Oh yeah. I'm actually no. I'll say that for Gordon because he kind of knows. I actually do have to. You might mention again, but I do have to go out to LA this week. So I'm hoping I'll go Monday, so I don't have to miss Battleground. But I might have to leave Sunday. Hopefully not, because I really want to see this pay-per-view. I actually think this one's gonna be the biggest Battleground, like pretty much yet. Last year's a lot of people hated it. I thought it wasn't too bad, but year before one was bad. This year's though has a lot of potential though. Yes, there was a lot of crap on the card, but there's still a lot of excitement. Undertaker.
Dude, if Undertaker was not in this card, do you honestly still believe? Do you honestly still believe that this would be that big?
It has Lesnar on Battleground.
Okay, that's the main event, dude. I mean, Sin and Owens may end a false finish.
That's
From
still
there,
big. If they put on one hell of a match,
they're
then
going to. That's expected, though.
yeah. I still think that's going to be better than any Battleground yet.
To be fairly honest right now, the last two battlegrounds that happened, I was at the first one. It was complete garbage. And the second one, it speaks for itself.
I thought it would have been good for Raw pretty much. That's what Raw should have been. It wasn't too bad. If it was a Raw, it would have been pretty good in my opinion.
What, last year's?
Yeah. Because it built up. When they threw it under the bus for SummerSlam, that would have made a pretty solid Raw. Because you built up to SummerSlam with it.
I don't know, dude. I mean, I guess, but it is what it is. But the second thing was G1, not G1. I keep thinking about G1 because I don't know. But my thing was what is it called? Not what am I thinking of? NXT. That's the big news coming out of NXT this week. So if you're not prepared for any spoilers, I advise you to just click off of this video now. Still giving you time. I'm not clicking off. Okay, no, you want to stay? Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. So Jushin Thunder Liger was advertised for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. Not even just advertised. William Regal announced that he'd be facing Tyler Breeze at TakeOver Brooklyn. Matt, do you have any thoughts on this?
I like Liger. I don't like his face. That's all I got to say.
I mean, no thoughts on who you think will win, no matter like. Well, actually, no, don't even. Don't.
Save it for the predictions.
That is 5 weeks, 6 weeks away.
Yeah.
Like I just would advise you now. Don't do it. We still have time yet.
Yeah.
All right, and all right, but let's get into this week's actual episode of NXT because that was in the spoilers from the tapings that had just taken place, and I didn't even, I'm not going to get into any spoilers at all because I just don't do that. So what we're going to do here is go over this week, and this week it feels like they went balls to the walls, dude. I mean, there's one thing that made no sense to me. There's one tiny little thing that made no sense to me, and that's just why is Joe facing a new recruit and he's just squashing him out. Other than that, everything else is fine to me. What do you call it? Blake and Murphy and Alexa Bliss at Sparkles, like not even just Sparkle Splash, Blake and Murphy in general. Like Blake and Murphy are awesome for no one who realizes that. I think me and Matt did we do NXT Takeover Unstoppable? Oh yeah, we did not live reactions. We did preview predictions of that.
A review?
We did preview predictions and a review, and we both predicted Enzo and Cass to beat them. I mean, like I completely gave Blake and Murphy no credit whatsoever, but we did know that we had the sneaking suspicion that there'd be a woman that would get involved and screw Enzo and Cass over. And NXT completely turned that from looking like Carmella was going to do it, and they made Alexa Bliss do it because they knew people were like they have their finger on the pulse of the crowd at all times. This is why I absolutely love, and I mean love, NXT because they know when their crowd hates something. On the main roster, it takes people like shouting it out like at the top of their lungs from the highest rooftop and peak of the world and saying, "We don't like this."
Yeah.
And NXT is just, listen, we don't like this, guys, and they change it immediately. They 86 it and just throw it out immediately. That's one thing you gotta love about NXT. And where was I going with that? I just had a complete loss right there. What was I saying before this?
About the Blake and Murphy? You heard that or?
Oh yeah, that's what I was getting. Like Blake and Murphy, everybody knew Carmella was probably going to turn on Enzo and Cass, but they didn't want to do that for the reason that it doesn't look like Carmella. Well, kinda. Her character kind of fits the description of a girl who would fit with Blake and Murphy, but Alexa Bliss, when you look at her, she works 10 times more than Carmella. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Like Blake and Murphy are just, I want to say, those two frat boys who pick up a chick at a party and they show off all the time. There's two frat boy show offs. That's who Blake and Murphy really are.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, let me get more in depth. They're those frat boy show offs who, like, those frat boy show offs who come up to a party, get the girl that the nerd has been working on for like nearly a year after she was about to go out with him, and they just take her. And you know, I said, like, the show offs, they're dickheads. They don't care about how the nerd felt. They just come and take as they please.
Yeah.
That's who Blake and Murphy are. So that's where I was going with that. So besides that, my point was that this week on NXT, Blake and Murphy got a win over Sawyer Fulton and Angelo Dawkins, and they decided to be dicks and just beat up. I can't remember which one they beat up after the match. Either it was Dawkins or Fulton, but they beat him up at the end of the match, and then Alexa just like, nah, you guys did a good job beating him up, but I'm gonna get the punctuating blow, and she does a sparkle splash, and like assisted by Blake and Murphy. You're probably singing off the shoulders, right? No. Blake and Murphy cuff their hands, throw Alexa up in the air, and she's able to contort and twist her body to the other side of where the guy's laying and hit her sparkle splash. Dude, if that does not impress you or anybody else who watches wrestling, just get the fuck out of here, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that was something major to me.
One sec. Hold on. Keep going.
All right. And as we go on here, I can also say that this week we did get Sasha Banks and Charlotte main eventing, but that's not it. We got Chad Gable and Jason Jordan. Yeah, Chad Gable and Jason Jordan versus Mike Rollins and I can't even remember Mike Rollins' partner at the moment. Anyways, doesn't matter, but I think it was Dash Wild. No, Dash Wild was from the Mechanics. No. Either way, Chad Gable, who, by the way, is the fucking shit, by the way. Chad Gable teamed with Jason Jordan, and they won their match. And it was, like, people may not like this tag team move because it just doesn't, like, it's not, it's not flashy enough to be a tag team move, or it doesn't seem as effective enough, or just like a basic wrestling type move. Like, those are the things I've heard, like, it doesn't seem like something that two amateur wrestlers could put together that'd be pretty cool. But it's Jason Jordan tossing Chad Gable, the opponent, and Chad Gable hits him with a side slam into a pinning combination. And that's where they win the match. Looks like it's their finisher. But we never know thus far. So the more of Gable and Jordan that we get, the better. Okay. Matt?
Yeah.
Any comment on Gable and Dillinger? Not say Gable and Dillinger, Gable and, how sweet of a tag team would that be? Gable and Jordan?
I actually did not see that part. The only part I came in was the next part and then the ending. So I'll have to go back and check them out. They were kind of building up Jason Jordan for like more than a month now, right?
They were building up Jason Jordan looking for a tag team partner, and I might as well mention a line that Corey Graves mentioned when Chad Gable stepped into the ring. Saxton was like, you know what? Searching for tag team partners is like searching for that one girl you've been looking for. You're on dating sites, you're looking through the girls, they may not be the right ones, and you still end up single all the time, don't you, Saxton? Corey Graves.
The best.
Exactly, dude. 85% of his brain may be functionable, and the other 15% may be dead, but here's the funny part about it. He's still more successful than any of his trolls that, that doubt him.
Yep.
So, we move on to Sami Zayn had a promo basically saying that he's coming for Kevin Owens, and I think that'll build into the main roster. He'll attack him on the main roster at some point and make his main roster debut. I don't think that's going to be an NXT feud. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Sami Zayn, like, they don't have, like, many goodbyes on NXT, like, goodbye to this person, goodbye to that person, like, farewell. But I think if they had to do it to anybody, Sami Zayn is that one guy who would have to receive a goodbye from the crowd. Like, that's just one of those guys who would, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they bring him back for, like, a farewell match against somebody. Like, oh, this would be perfect, because this is actually another thing that I want to talk about. Baron Corbin had a little vignette this week. And this was fucking cool. And we all know how I've been very critical about Baron Corbin. And he came out and said this week that he is he's sick of all the indie guys who just think they deserve to get everything handed to him. And he goes over to say his career in the NFL was, even though he really didn't even play anything in the NFL, he didn't play any real position, but he goes on to say his career in the NFL was worthy of recognition and how he was a former, amateur. He was versed in jiu-jitsu or whatever it was. Like, Corbin just, he wanted to talk about himself, and he said, these indie guys think they deserve something when I was paid in golden rings and they were paid in hot dogs and chips. So, say by the time Zayn gets healthy, and let's say Corbin hasn't done that much yet with this gimmick, let's just say, because he already has enough heat with the NXT crowd, this will get him nuclear heat with the NXT crowd.
Yeah.
Say if he feuds with Zayn and has like a bye match with Sami Zayn. Like, if you lose, your NXT career is over.
Yeah.
And let's say Corbin beat Zayn.
Wow. Yeah, that'd be major heat right there.
Exactly. And Corbin, he does what he's supposed to do. He gets his heat, and he gets it the right way. Not just because the crowd naturally hates him, but he gets his heat by defeating a huge fan favorite in NXT.
Yeah.
So, we had the women's match, Sasha Banks and Charlotte. Dude, this match stole the goddamn that'd be, that's still so generic to even say, but it's so true. These women tore the freaking house down.
Yeah.
Like, I can't put any more stock into that, but at the very end of the show, like, after they got done having their show stealer, Saxton came out with a good line for once in his career. Yes, Byron Saxton. People mark it down in your calendars. July 15th, 2015. He had a good line. He came out and said that the NXT Women's Division, and this is obvious, but he came out and said it in the perfect time too. After a great match, as the show is winding down, the NXT Women's Division is in great hands.
Yeah.
And I honestly 100% agree with that. So, Byron Saxton, congratulations for saying something smart for the first time in your life. You truly deserve it. All right. So, anything you want to say here about NXT or the match or anything in general about the show?
Pretty good. The main event was absolutely awesome. And another thing is, when they lock in these submissions, they really kill each other out there. This is just like, you can kind of tell with the divas on the main roster, they feel protected. But these,
that's another thing. I mean, Sasha was whipping out Charlotte's extensions, dude.
They went all out. So if you haven't seen this match, go watch it. It's pretty good. And Zayn's promo was awesome. Got me pumped up to see him when he comes back. I'm hoping. I take that back. I said Cesaro should beat Owens for the title. I say Zayn should beat him maybe at WrestleMania. If somebody has to do it.
For the U.S. title?
Yeah, Zayn.
I agree.
Mania would be epic. That's what I want.
Especially if Zayn can get back by maybe the Royal Rumble. And you came up with this one too. Remember this when you said you come back and cost in the Rumble?
Yeah, like have Owens just go on a tear, eliminate left to right, just fan favorites, throw out, just everybody get a boot, and then Zayn comes out and excite everybody. And he'll be in for by Mania time.
Dude, can you imagine the video packages and the vignettes and the storytelling going up to that feud, especially at a WrestleMania of all things?
Because that's as big as they can go. I mean, these guys have wrestled each other years and years. At WrestleMania, that has to happen.
I agree. I 100% do agree with you on that one. See, I did not get to see the very ending of Lucha Underground. Like, I had seen everything up to the main event, and I didn't get to see the main event match. But I can say this much on Lucha Underground: they gave away, like, because Dario Cueto had already given away. I think he had 7 golden Aztec medallions. He gave away 3. He had to give away 3 more. He was going to give one to Pentagon Jr., and Pentagon Jr. said to Dario Cueto at the start of the show, like, Dario Cueto said, I could give you a gold Aztec medallion. You may not even have to earn one. He's like, I love to have it. You've been reeking around my temple. But that's when Pentagon said, if I would have wanted an Aztec medallion, I would have broken your arm already and stolen all of them.
Wow.
And that's when Cueto just, the offer's like, I guess the offer's going to be always up on the table. And then Vampiro did accept this challenge to fight him. And see, I shouldn't even be talking about this because you haven't even seen any Lucha Underground as of recent, but people do want to hear about Lucha Underground. So Vampiro did accept Pentagon's challenge before, 2 weeks ago when Vampiro almost got set on fire by Pentagon. So that was going to be that. And this week, I didn't get to the main event, and I didn't get to the 3rd Aztec medallion challenge, so that was that. I do know this, though, that Mil Mortes at the end of the show did meet in the ring with Prince Puma. I'm pretty sure Katrina was there, and I'm just beating myself up for missing it. Oh, my God, I had personal stuff to do. Like, when all that stuff went down, and I just felt so bad, like, oh, maybe I could watch it on stream. Oh, I couldn't. So that's what happened there. And
in the stream, and I just could not get one.
Yeah, and see, I actually watched John and Ashton's like for a little bit because I didn't have that much time, but I still got a chance to watch theirs. They did their NXT review first because the streaming site wasn't working for them either.
Wow.
So yeah, there you go. And I don't know, dude. It just happened to be that way.
Yeah.
And like I said, I do apologize for no Lucha Underground review. There will be one next week, and I will have some way to find out how the final Aztec medallion match went. And then I guess like Cueto has one left. He'll always have he's just gonna have this one left. And I'm pretty sure at some point, probably, maybe when it comes down to it at the end of the day, Pentagon may take the medallion once he finds out what the result of what they do. Like once he finds out what it is and what it's about, Pentagon will take it. But we're gonna have Pentagon versus Vampiro at Ultima Lucha. We're gonna have these are the matches at Ultima Lucha: Pentagon versus Vampiro, Mundo versus Puma, and what else really here? I'm trying to remember. I think I remember another match. There may be a trios tag title match. I don't know, but we'll find out as we go along. Besides that, I think that's probably about it from Lucha Underground. Matt, is there anything else you wanted to cover?
No, I think we got it all. We knocked those predictions out of the park. If you guys want to come and leave your predictions or have an opinion, or want to convince us that Lesnar will beat Rollins, that would help. Because, yeah. So I'm hoping I can be here for Battleground. Like I said, I'm trying to get out after LA, so I'm hoping we can leave Monday at the latest.
But then you miss Sting and Undertaker.
That's damn. I gotta see the Undertaker.
It's depressing, isn't it?
Yes.
Wow, the night you don't want to watch Raw. You.
I just can't. That's the thing.
I understand.
Undertaker and Sting and possibly Lesnar. Oh my God. Who wins the next night if they set up a fatal 4-way? They could have a stacked rock match.
All right then.
So. Yep.
All right, dude. Well, is there anything else you want to say to the people?
Nothing. Nothing. I hope everyone's excited for Battleground. I'm hearing mixed. I hear some people saying, it could be a really good show or just a really bad one. Part of it I understand might not be that good, but the last couple matches, I'll even throw Orton and Sheamus there to be nice. those last 4 matches, they screw those up, then that's really on them.
Wow. And I'm sitting here reading something that my friend had tagged me on Facebook. It was an article, and Rollins had Seth Rollins just revealed that in an interview that he did recently with who? Let me get the exact source of the interview he did. The Buzz with Johnny and someone. He said that it was considered too violent by the younger members of the audience.
What?
The curb stomp.
Oh man, that's the thing that pisses me off. That was the coolest move, and out of the new guys kind of coming up. I mean, let's look at Ambrose real quick. I'm actually all the new guys with this real quick. Ambrose, he does a DDT that Mick Foley would do just as a side move. I don't like it.
Now, what about his original headlock driver and inverted DDT where it drove you down straight on your head?
I'm trying to think. I don't even remember that one. Hold on.
That was
the
his original
bulldog
finisher.
That was all right. It was just a bulldog.
It wasn't a bulldog at all, dude. It was just straight up take you. I lift my 1 foot and then I drag you down right on top of your head.
He gets you in the head like a bull. It's all right. It didn't look. It probably could mess you up, but
there are people who sold it like pure death.
Yeah, you could. It doesn't matter how you sell it. Spear. I don't like the spear as a finisher. I think that should be a setup move. Let's see.
All right, well, here's another thing that Rollins was saying. It was a move that was collectively made by a PR standpoint. He said the curb stomp just seemed. He said the curb stomp just seemed like it was too particularly violent. I guess this is that quote. He said, you would say I never hurt anyone with it. It was just something we didn't want. It was just something we didn't want kids trying on each other.
I wouldn't. My little brothers are smart enough not to try that. That move is. If you ever seen American History X when the guy does it, like he has a dude. If you guys know that part, he has a dude like bite the curb and then he does it. It's a good ass movie, dude, if you ever see it, or if you ever have a chance. But yeah, that move looks legit. Like it can take you down pretty much. Like that's a move I can buy into. Maybe hitting Lesnar with a couple of them. He could, if like Lesnar's beaten down and he finally hits it, then that works. And they give him the pedigree. It's like, are you serious?
And it made sense at one point, but what Rollins doing it because he's not Triple H, that doesn't look right.
That just makes him look like lower than he is pretty much, because it's like, hey, I'm this great wrestler, I'm going to use the guy who's helping me I'm going to use his, like, no, you got to, I don't know, the curb stomp is just perfect.
Especially for a heel finisher, dude. I mean...
It fit. It was a heel finisher, that's the thing.
I would rather, but if he has to come up with a new finisher, it's tough because the Phoenix Splash is such a babyface type thing.
Yeah.
And he can't use the Seth Walker either because it's literally another one of those things where he's walking the air literally and backflipping into a pinning combination, which Kalisto already does as a finisher and Rollins never established as a finisher or that much of a movement in his repertoire, I should say. And he's done it before, but Kalisto's already established it as a finisher just in a sitting motion. Rollins would land on a knee and then pin you.
Yeah.
But, anything else you got to say here, Matt?
No, I think we covered it all, man.
All right, so thank you guys for watching Wrestle Talk, and I guess, Matt, you can shout your stuff.
Yeah, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Matt Jarrow Show, and you can add me on Facebook. I made an account called Matt Jarrow Show recently, so yeah, add me there. And yeah, that's about it. So thanks for having me, Gordon.
No problem, dude. So do not forget to follow me on Twitter at gmaster90twf. You can't miss me. It's my face. You know, me in a mirror. You know, posing with a Kevin Owens shirt on. You cannot miss that. What else we got there? subscribe to the YouTube channel, like, comment, subscribe for more of that Wrestle Talk goodness on my channel. And remember, there's a pro wrestling group out there. It is an amazing pro wrestling group that you can follow through many communities. And if you just don't want to talk to me, you want to talk to a community of wrestling fans. That would be Pwitoff, PWITOF. And if you can't find it under that on Facebook, because that was a problem that I had, I realized pro wrestling is taking over Facebook is how you would probably find it on Facebook. So I just want to thank you guys for watching so much, and say see ya.